that I can use. Let's just go with this. I just like this kick because I don't know, I use it everywhere. Just do this. Okay, let's do that. I always tell people that what you need to do is just keep this thing simple as possible. You worry later about like this drum and complicating it. Just make a simple drum loop and then it's chai. These other things you worry later about them. I'm just gonna set the tempo to 116. See, now I have this. So that's what I have. Let me see if I did switch off. I think the time I was mixing the vocals, I did switch off this. Okay, let's see how I did. See, now I have that. Okay, I just want us to create something simple, fast, and then we just add some chords and then we do like mixing. Don't want to complicate the project, want to keep it simple, but you know me, so I'm just gonna add the things and then let's start to explore. Just gonna add this one. I don't know, I just prefer to add this sound as my main sound. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to stamp now. Let's think. Which one can we use here? I think let's use minor 13. Yeah, just gonna use minor 13. Alt G to ungroup, and then I want to move this one 2 times. 1, 2, and then it should be fine. And then now we have. Just gonna try and shift that one up. Get that. So let's see. I'm just gonna drop the volume. Okay, I have that. Then duplicate. You know how you can create voicing. Let me just show you. So this is how you create voicing, by the way. So you see, you have this one. So what I did was it was here, and then I move 1, 2. That's what I did now to keep it there. But how you create voicing in terms of like chords? If I have chords like, listen to this. You see, I just have the same thing. You see, I just have dun dun dun. So how you can create voicing for someone who kind of like maybe struggling with chords? You can try and select a note and then you press Control and the up key. It just moves. You see, it was on B3 and then it moved to B4. So this is how you can create voicing. Then maybe you can try these two and do the same thing, you see. But then the problem now, if you check there, we have a duplicate because we have D sharp 5 here, is D sharp 4, so we don't want that. I'm just gonna remove that, then shift it up so that notes they don't like overlay. And then you can select these two, and then also you see I have the same problem. So let me try and select this. So you see what I did here, I just moved things up, and this is how I just created this different voicing I have. Listen. So this is different voicing. The other way you can create voicing is rather than just moving things up, you can duplicate. You see, I'm duplicating these two and then move it up. This one is already there, so I can delete. So I can do the same thing, maybe duplicate these two and move it up. So we end up with this. So So you see how we create like voicing, different voicing. So with this trick, you can use this trick and then to create like different chords using the same thing, because I know it's kind of hard. Fine, let me simplify it again. So rather than using, because I know 13 is complicated for people, they might struggle with that top note because probably maybe it might be off sometimes might not be off. So let's try and use minor 9, or let's use minor 9 and create those voicing, because I think these chords are small, so you'll be able to understand. So assume you have this, which is the same thing. You play have this. How can you create voicing? Voicing, you can create them by taking these and move it up, more like a transposing. You see, I just move it here to up, then I can take these two, move them up, then I can maybe even take these 3 because nothing is stopping me, move it up. So listen what we have now. We can continue. Remember what we did here was, in fact, I was supposed to move that these 3, so it's supposed to be like that. This one is just moving. See. So this is just different voicing. We can apply the same rule rather than now by saying we don't want to move but want to duplicate. What key to use to duplicate? So you press shift and right click and then you move. So you press shift and shift right click at the same time and then you move. Then it will move it for you. So now what I want to do that and duplicate and move it up. So now I'm doing like the vice versa. So I'll take these two and then move it up. Then I'll take these three, then move it up. Then I'll take these four, then move it up. You see now what's happening. So see I have that. You see how it sounds like? Well, there's a way you can deal with these because you can't tell like the difference if it's like this. The best way, if you're struggling if you're struggling in terms of like adjusting the frequencies, so click this banner and then look for strum. There's this thing called strum. So what strum have time. So the only thing you'll be interested in for now, so you don't worry about other things. The velocity will be at 0, the tension will be here. So it will look like this. So what we want to do is, if you move this velocity, you see what's happening there at the bottom. It's like it's shifting those notes. So if you play them now, listen. You see what you get? So let's try and move it the other way around. Ooh. Listen. You see, it's like a different thing. You can also add the time. This time is like shifting this node and then it creates a glide. See. So you get that. By the way, this is the same chord. We just did that trick. So now I want us to create chord, but we want to use what we have here. So now I always tell people to use like the same rule which applies across. So how it works is whatever that I would do here, I've just cloned it. So you can do it for the rest of those chords. So the rules, I don't know if it's a rule or what, but probably I'm just gonna call it a rule. So it say that there's a way that you can get good sound using the same sound. But you need to move it down or either you move it up until it gets to the same point, which is the same point if I put it here and press Ctrl up, which this is the same point. And if I do this and move it down, which this is the same point, right? Okay, now I want to create chords. So how do I create chords? I'm gonna leave these points here. So the first one is you duplicate, move it up. Let's try and move it up once. You can tell that it's off, right? Let's move it up again. It's promising, which is something which you can keep here since it's promising. If you listen to it from here to it's promising, right? So we continue applying the same rule. Move it up. No, you can tell that it's off. Then continue, move up. No. Okay. You see, now we have something. So we know that this one is fine here. But the fact that we don't want to to feel like these chords are sounding the same. So all these chords, remember, they have the same root. The same root is E, which this is the root. So which means I can take this one and then try and match it here. And then once I match it here and then I move it here. So I'm gonna, you see now what I'm getting? Instead of, you You see, so now I have these. So now we can use this. Let's do this, a simple chord, and then we're done. Maybe. You see, just like that, then you have a chord. So we have that. Let's do that. You see, then now let's move this here. Remember, we have one chord which it was fine. So now let's do this. See, so we have that. And what we can do, we can remove things. So we delete this and see what we get. Can you move this one down? Yes, we can try and move it down. Move it down. Which I'm happy with that. So we have a chord progression just like that. If you want me to repeat it, and then I can repeat it. But yeah, so we have a chord progression. So I just want to try and move it down here. See. Then here's a chord progression just like that. Most of the time things sound too basic because we're like, okay, dun, dun, dun. So what other thing that you can do to give like texture? I think now if you listen to my song, most of the time like I put effect, right? So if I put effect, I get like the dub vibe. So switch on that, put 1/1, select trance, and then can move this to the chord. See. Put reverb. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so now we're done. So we have the chords progression. Do we sell packs? No, I don't sell packs. Packs are when I upload videos on YouTube, I attach like the packs I use on those tutorials, because there's no like I don't know. There's no thing like to call it proper packs, no. So I want to just add the bounce. See, just trying to follow that, then put it here. So I see there's this. I see there's there. And see, I'm just following that. See, just like that then. You remember those voicing that we did? Actually, we can unwind these and take this to move it up and try and take this one and move it up. It's like now I'm messing with the voicing. Take this one, move it up. Take this to move it up. See. See, take this. See. See. You see the voicing. So it's the same thing, we're just messing up with that. Okay, so now we have that. And then now what I want to do is I'm just gonna route that here, give it some reverb. The low cut is like to reduce the bass if you don't want like a bass in the reverb. Because the sound heavy bass, usually this reverb would try and also give it like some bass, so you can just push that. Now I'm just gonna drop that. Have that. Thanks for the gift, King. You see, now I have that. You see, with the voicing, we just get it's the same thing. The thing I like about the voicing, you get. Listen. It's like you did a lot of things, kinda next. You just like try and shift those things so you just get those different voicing. The same way I showed you like how you can move those things so you just get different voicing without you worrying about adding more things and complicate it. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm thinking of adding a bass, so let me just get a bass here. When you get time, please share nice stock piano presets. I use like Lost Lizard for piano and Nexus, and then I use Flex for other things, and then I use Expand for pads. Yeah, I guess that's it. And Purity for maybe if I'm doing something groovy, because it have that nice sound there. Let's see. Let's see. Away, King. This one, it's called the 5th string new rock slap. It's here on Flex. That's what I'm saying. Like for bass I use and other stuff I use Flex. You see, if you go here and then you get this nice bass. Thanks for the gift, King. And then now I'm just gonna move these here, duplicate. I remember those days. Eh? Yeah. Now I can't produce Redimial. I don't know what happened. Eh? The name of the bass is here, King. If you go here, look, I'm showing you again. If you go to Flex, go to essential bass guitar, and then you click this one. Just like this nice guitar, I usually use them for groovy music, sort of. But I don't use them now and always, because sometimes if my project is heavy, it will clip. Yeah, king. It's coming, king. You know, mosquitoes always there. Let me put it. You know, I cannot miss mosquito. Mosquito needs to be there. Let me put the shakers, king. Let me put them. I'm gonna put them. Let me put them. Here, here. Okay, I'm just gonna put a piano now, which is gonna sound the same as this chord. I'm gonna do that king now. Let me do that first before I do other things. Let me put reverb. It's gonna do that. You choose the break, then push the drive. Then I'm gonna load the piano from Nexus now. Select it first, this one, just like that. So what I want to do is to add effector, so it have the down. Thanks for the gift. Thanks for the gift. Wait. Hey, you're saying the defaulting from Hammer. Oh, let me look for it. Let me look for it, king. Let me look for it. Let me look for it. Let me look for it now. Let's go to Hammer. This one. Alright, don't worry. Don't worry. Let's edit it. Increase the unison to 9. You see, we're taking notes now. Put the frequency, just like that. Here it is, king. Someone talked about the lead. Let's check for a lead. Lead, I use leads from Expand. Have you tried VCF? Esh. No, I can't install those ones. I don't know, for some reason they are complaining, eh? Someone talked about the lead. Let's see if we can add the lead. Then we'll do arrangement. So I'm trying to add the lead. So let's check for another one that is smooth. Just gonna put a delay here and repeat it. Just use 8. time if you swing it, it's fine. Let's do that. Hey, it's too much. It's kinda like it's off yan. It's kinda off yan. The lead from GMS. Let's check. Let's check a lead from GMS. It's fine. Then we do arrangement. It's gonna go to GMS. Okay, let's use this one. They sync. Kind of vibe with this one. Okay guys, you know me, I don't like to waste time, because if you waste time you run out of ideas. So fast let's do arrangement. You see now, I'm sure people like this see how I arrange. I don't want to hear someone say, hey, I don't know how to arrange. And like you see how I arrange it. There's no magic here. We're doing this thing live, straight up and easy. I will just take everything. Nah, that's what I do, and this is how I arrange. Just gonna switch off everything. Then now let's do this. Then after we're gonna do mixing for this. Let's start with Mosquito. And then let's bring this one. You see, slow. We're not rushing anywhere. I do, King. Let's bring this two and this one. Let's start. Just gonna switch off that one. I'm still deciding. I think maybe I should put the shaker or this two. This one or this shaker, I'm not sure. Let's go with the shaker. Just gonna bring this one here. You see how arrange is simple, guys. Let's bring this thing now. I started producing like, I think long time, but I was doing hip hop. Let's take a break here. Let's take a break. Let's take a break here. I'm gonna switch off this and the bass. King, I will see if I'm able to release. You know, here we're exploring, guys. Then I'm gonna switch off Mosquito and this one. I think maybe this one. just want to make this one unique. And when I make it unique, I want to remove the kick because the kick will disturb. So now I can have. Just gonna try and extend this. Okay, now I on this one. So I hear. Yeah, king. So I wanna bring it to life. So I'm looking for a part that I'm gonna take. I think I'm just gonna take this part. Just gonna take this part and put it here. But I'm gonna add the bounce here because that's something that's been there. We're exploring here, guys. You know, yeah, I'm just gonna bring the piano just like that. This how I arrange this is. I'm just gonna switch off this one because we want to end this track nicely now. King, we're exploring, eh? What's the presets for the guitar? This one. It's called the 5th string new rock slap on the essential bass. Here. Just gonna switch off this. King, you already have an EP, eh? You have an EP. Hey, no, how's it? We're exploring straight. We see other things that we added. Mara, guys, do you see how many layers we have here? Just end it. Okay, so yeah, you see, we just like created a song just like that, and there's like 15 tracks. Imagine other people they'll end up like having about 40, 70, as we only have like few. Yeah, but so when you keep this thing simpler and then also simplify your life in terms of like if you have to do like mixing. So now let's focus on mixing. So what I want to do is mixing, right? Let me see if my ears are still fine. My ears are not fine, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna select a specific part where most of the sounds are playing, so I can look at the project by, I think, this area. Most of the sounds are playing here, but I want to target it. Let's see if I can. Okay, here most of them, but I want to target it from here because we have that. So what I want to do first of all, before I do this thing, I'm just gonna select my sound, right? This one I'm not using it, so what we are not using I delete. And then I'm gonna start with my drums. Guys, you see how small this project is? Yeah, so if you have a small project like this, it's just gonna make your mixing to be easy because you don't have like 1,000 items. So what I would do is I'm gonna select an empty thing, go to channel route, and then I want to select route selected channel starting from this, and then to put everything above. So now I have my drums connected. Okay, so here I see this one is not connected, the other ones are connected, so I'm just gonna select this one and the expand. I'm just gonna try and connect them somewhere here because I don't want to risk it to overlay it on top of other things. And then after, I'm just gonna highlight. So to highlight, you press Control and then right click, and then you move your mouse and then it will highlight. And then now to move them, you move them with Alt and left right, and then you press left right. You see they are moving, so I want to put them next to this. So I already added these and this expand here. Probably have override expand, but it's fine. So okay, so now I believe, okay, and then need to add our bass. So we have our bass. So we have everything. So now if I switch off this, then only the kick is playing, and that's what I want. So mixing is it's not hard. The only thing that makes it hard is because now I will tell you that to do mixing you need to do 1, 2, 3, right? And I'm using this kick. And then here you come, you want to do mixing the way I showed you using this kick. You won't get the same results. I think the only way this will work is if you get the packs. Hence what I do is when I'm uploading a video, I attach like the packs so that when you are doing like something, you're able to use the same packs and try and recreate the thing. Yeah, because now if you watch someone be like, I'm gonna show you how to do mixing, and the person is using this kick, and then when you don't have the kick, the only kick you have is this, so you think you're gonna get the same thing if you apply all those compression. No. So that's the reason most people like that kinda be like, my mixing is bad, but I watch this guy's tutorial. It's because he's using this kick and you have this kick. So these are two different kicks. That's why this thing is just hard. But then if you can get his kick and then try and recreate what he did, you're just gonna get the same thing as is. Which, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna attach the packs there in the description so that you get them. Okay, so the thing that I do when I'm doing like mixing, I add this one, which is but I don't use it these days. I don't know, just that I can listen to this thing. So there's like, I use this one which can help you analyze, which is the filter, but you don't have to worry at the same time about analyzing. So I think if you check the last video, you will see the packs that are related to the video, because I attached like packs that are related to a video, not just random packs. So I think like the last video I uploaded yesterday. So now what you can use, because I know some might not have these, or some might have lower spec, which this thing might not even run my chow the RAM. So the easy way, let's go with I think there's this one called Meter or something. I think I was using it. It's called Meter. I think it's Fruity Meter or something. Should be next to Wave Candy. Yeah, this one, Fruity DB Meter. So most of the time when you are doing like mixing, right? Or let me just put this way, have you ever like maybe submitted a track to a label and then they said to you remove those mastering effects and then send the track at -6 dB? They meant at -6 dB. Some they say 12. They mean you need to send the track at that when you remove the mixing effect, the mastering effect, not mixing, because mixing is done. But then when you added your own mixing, and then now the label say, fine, Tina, I want to apply our own mixing, own mastering to your own track that you mix, but send that track at -6 dB. They mean this. When they say send the track at -3 dB, somewhere here in the middle, that's where you're gonna send the track. So now what you need to do is there is a way. Now I'm always open for a feature. I'm working with everyone. King. So yeah, so, and you don't have to pay. We're not doing that here. So now what I want to do is to avoid the problem where, because this thing is already hitting here, and I'm 100% sure that when I switch on everything, it will summer here, and that will give me a problem. So let me switch on everything, go to the meet and play this. You see what I mean? This thing is already at minus 4 dB. It's gonna give us a problem. So what we need to do here is we need to select everything. So you press Alt and then you move. Sorry, Shift, then you move, select. You see everything is highlighted. And what we want to do is we want to drop the volume, this volume. So it will drop this volume equally. So it means that now if I play this, look, you see this thing is playing at lower than the 6 dB, which means now, yeah, King, yeah, you can WhatsApp me, King. So you see now, it means that if we start adding things and so forth, and then we'll be on the safe side. So what I recommend most of the time is to keep it here at 6 dB. Let me just select everything, but then that thing just makes it hard to me because I feel like it goes behind. So let me just do this because I want to see. Move it. Just want to keep it 6 dB. Okay, so it's there, you see. That's where it is, at 6 dB. So now I know that even if I can try and do what so forth, it won't give me any problem. The track won't be too loud because I've already dealt with that. So now we start with the mixing. So the first thing that I start with is the drums and the shakers and so forth. Once I'm done with them, I move to the other things, the melodies, and once I'm done with the melodies, and then I go to the bass. I know other people, they prefer to start with the bass, but for me I feel like the bass is a problem. I know why they're doing that, because other people, they want to sidechain, right? Because they want to run away from that problem of where you feel like that something is choking the other thing. When the kick is hitting and the bass is hitting, it's choking. The problem is most of the time there are things that we ignore when we're doing mixing. Let me see how you can dock it, King. Can you dock this one? I see the attached here. Maybe that's the one. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, thanks, King. Okay, so there are things that always give problem, and then you feel like maybe something is choking your track. Have you ever played your track and then you end up something with like this? Let me put the compressor so I can make an example with the compressor. So let me play everything here. Just want to make an example. Have you ever played a track and you feel it's doing this when the bass is playing? I know other people, what they do, they prefer like they compress and then they do all those things. But for someone who doesn't understand how a compressor works, it's a different story. So now I'm just gonna break this thing down, yabo? So I'm not gonna use a compressor, I'm not going to sidechain. But the only thing we stick to, it's a limiter. I know a limiter, they think it's a compressor, but no. Limiter, it does work as a compressor, but we won't use it as a limiter. We won't use it as a compressor, but we'll use it as a limiter. And then the second one is this one. It's called this transient processor. So this one is the one which will take advantage of to press things that we feel like they're disturbing. Now we assume we don't know anything, but we know that if you apply this, it will help us to get our track to sound nice. So let's start. So the first thing that I start with, I'm just gonna increase. I think this volume is okay. It's fine. So I'm just gonna start with this, which at the moment, if I'm playing this, it's fine. I'm gonna give you the kick, so everything is there. I will include it in the description so that you're able to use it. So with the kick, this kick is fine, but then I prefer to add this one, the parametric EQ, and then limit this thing, because there's this other bass. It's called like sub bass, which is here. It's a sub of a sub, which is here in this area and it's not showing. And they usually play it in Amapia, those dance car. There's like that sub of sub which is here. You see, so to cut that part, like if you do this, you see, it's just getting rid of that. Yeah, but just make sure that kick is there. The reason you're doing this is because another thing, we're trying to avoid side chaining, right? Because we don't know anything about side chaining, assume. Yeah. And then we'll try and run away from this sub of sub so that this thing, the kick, doesn't end up clashing with the bass. And we'll also do the same thing with the other sound that we're gonna add, that they don't clash with this bass. So we'll always try to avoid. So in fact, let me do this. I don't want this. I want a painter. Why am I opening this? I want a painter. Just want to show you something. Okay, I'm just gonna open this. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I opened 2 of them. I don't know why. So we have the sub, right? Which is, I'm just gonna call it sub. Then we have this, which is the kick. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it bass. Yeah, and then based on the limiter, so we have, you see, we have this, we have the sub, and then we have the bass, and then we have the low. Let me open this, and then we have the low, mid. I'm just gonna call it low mid, and then we have the mid, and then we have the high mid, and then we have the treble here. Okay, so now here's the thing. What we want to do is, for our, can I move this? 1, 2. Okay, it's fine. So what we want for our melody, right? Just gonna call it ML, melody. You want them to play around here, and I'm just gonna keep it half. You see, I'm keeping it half, not here. I'm just gonna keep it half, so our melody can play here, which is fine. You see, I'm trying to run away from more of the bass and the sub, and then we're gonna call it the percussions. So for the percussions, there are things like, let me just split it. I'm just gonna call it HHT, which is the hi-hat, right? So the hi-hat, we can play it up to here. So anything up to there, we chop it. We chop whatever. We don't need this part. We don't need this part. We don't have to fall here, right? And then for a clap, we do the same thing. So a clap, maybe we can play somewhere here, because we don't want the bass. Remember, we're trying to run away from the bass because we're avoiding problems. So it's gonna be the low mid somewhere here, right? And the snares, they're gonna fall here. The snares, and other things that you can add which are related to percussions. So you see these percussions, they like fall in this group, and effects like crashers, yeah, like crashers, they'll fall also in this range, because might happen maybe you need little bit of the bass. Okay, and then now it's time for your bass. Your bass will occupy this. Let me call it B. This one, let me call it EFF, which is the effect. This one, I'm just gonna call it bass. So your bass will occupy this. Yeah, bo? So your bass will occupy this. So your bass won't be playing here, won't be playing here. So it might, yeah, it will occupy that, and then here it won't be playing. And then I have a kick, right? So the kick, what it will do is, it will play somewhere here. To play somewhere here, it depends on you how you want it. So you see now, so it doesn't play here. So you see what we have here. It means that we won't end up with a situation where the kick fight with the bass, because this sub of sub, it's free on its own. It's only occupied for the bass. The only time the bass will fight for the kick with the kick is here. They will fight here. But there's a way to deal with that, because if this thing are playing at the same time, the bass and the kick, you can apply a limiter to 1, and then automatically it will press it. But still running away from side chaining, right? Yeah, for people like us. So now let's do that. So we start with the kick. That's the kick, and then we move to this, which is the clap. Just move it down. I'm gonna add the parametric EQ. You see what I mean? This thing, you are not hearing it, but look what the clap have. Look. If you leave this and you have 10 sounds that are playing this part, as soon as you put your bass, you hear like this thing fighting you with your bass, because this thing is already taking the bass space. So what we want with this clap, we don't want it to take the bass space. We want to leave that bass space for the kick and the clap so that it doesn't fight. The space is there. Then now, first, let me ask you a question. Do you hear any difference? No, you can't hear it. You hear it as soon as you have more sounds and then you start hearing it. That's what I'm saying. Just make sure you clean this thing. See, this play safe. You do the same thing with the hi-hat. Gonna add this parametric EQ, which this one is fine, but I also do the same thing. You see, so I can keep it somewhere here. It doesn't hurt anything. Just keep it clean. See. Then we move to the shaker, do the same thing. At the moment, I'm just showing you how just to split those things. And then let's go to where's parametric EQ. Then do the same thing with the shaker, which is already fine. You see, it's already playing here. You don't have to worry about it. And then this is the effect that we have. This one. So what I would do the same thing, put this thing, look. You see, it's trying to take this space of a bass. We don't want. So we want to leave that space alone. You see, can't tell any difference. See, now we're fine with that. So it means now, you know very well that you have that space of a bass freely. Nothing is affecting it. Which means as soon as you put the bass will just cruise nicely. Okay, now let's adjust these volumes. So now what I like to do, I think this thing now is based on how we adjust this volume, and how we are hearing this, which one is loud, and then you adjust the one that is loud. Besides effects and other things. I feel like, you see, have this. You see, now it's up to us adjusting this thing the way we want to adjust. This thing is just up to us. Now we move to the shake. Remember, there's this thing where when you try and stack sound to play at the same layer, what I mean by the same layer, let me open another painter. I'm just praying this thing doesn't show that pop-up, because if it does, we're screwed. So what I mean is, there's like this stereo, and then you have the mono, right? But stereo is separated into two, where you have the left and right, and then you just have where sound are just playing in the center. Sometimes it's just the center, which is the balance, is left and right. The center, which is the balance of the left and right. Sometimes you can hear the difference of the left and right because the stereo maybe is playing more on the left. Sometimes it's just center, where you can feel that this thing is that spread. So what you want to avoid here is you having a sound playing at the center, the same, and then have another sound playing at the center, the same, another sound playing at the center, the same. You end up feeling like your sound is like clustered. So other sound, you need to push them at the left. Some of sound, you need to push them at the right. Some of them, you push them at the center. Some of them, you just keep them low. So what I mean is, you see we have like this hi-hat, for example. This is how our hi-hat sound. But if you go to stereo enhancer, there's this stereo shaper. Stereo shaper, it's a good tool to use, because if you go to this stereo rise, what it does is it's just gonna split. Do you mix in mono and then, no, I mix in stereo. You can mix in mono if you move this knob. You see this knob? If you push it this side, you're gonna separate. That's what you don't wanna do. If you wanna keep it on stereo, keep it at the center. If you wanna keep it to mono, you push this thing this side to the end. So now you merge, which is, that's what you get. You get that on stereo. You see? I think it does help, Mara. I don't like it because you're not hearing like everything. I know other people, they just mix in, but it doesn't matter. What matters is you to listen to this sound, because at the end of the day, let me show you this. So it can happen that this sound, you see this hi-hat. So let's say we made a mistake. I'm just gonna move this to the right, just on purpose, and then if you're using headphone, you will feel, or maybe if this other phone, you can tell that this hi-hat is on your right. And now what you want to do is you want to move this right and merge, and fine, it will balance it. But as soon as you put it back, this hi-hat is still on the right. So you see, the problem is that now you mix on mono, and then mono will just spread this and make it to play the same way on the left and right, because you'll be like, yeah, it's balanced. But as soon as you put it back to stereo, this thing is still on right, you see. So what I want to do is to always, what I do is to always try and mix on stereo, so that I'll be able to deal with this. Because once you mix on mono, you will think everything is fine. Once you push it back to stereo, realize something is playing loud on the left, something is playing loud on the right. So it's best to just mix this thing on stereo, so that you hear that, okay, so I can hear that, okay, this hi-hat is more on the left, and then we can do that. So now let's do that. So what I want to do is, on this hi-hat, I want to apply, there's this thing called stereo, stereo shape, fruity stereo shape. It have these three, stereoized, and then uses 2 and 3. You can, I prefer to use this, and then what it does is split. Listen, if you're using headphones, you feel it, like, you hear it. If I switch off this, it's just center. If I put this, it just spread this sound. And now we have this hi-hat on the left, and then we have this hi-hat on the right. So that's what it does. So now if I play this, you see now it creates more spaces, rather than now us trying to have like sound on the center, which they're gonna be a problem if they stack and it's just too much. See now. So I'm moving to the shaker. So there's also this thing called a way where you can spread, but this one's is the same as the stereo and the mono, but this one we use them when it comes to the effect and to the melodies most of the time. So let's just adjust this. Okay, and also this one, but we'll switch it off. You see, I'm just gonna switch it off because I feel like it's gonna disturb me as soon as I put the other things. Okay, fine, we're done with that. Now it's time to deal with the melody. The first thing that you need to do is to look for the main sound in your song. Before you start worrying about this other sound like the pads and so forth, just make sure you find the main sound. The main sound that appear the most, or the primary melody or the primary progression that play in your song. But as we know, as much as the main one that's starting here is string, we know that the main is this one, the one on Lost Lizard. So the thing that I'll focus on is that sound on Lost Lizard, which is, before I worry about other things. Okay, I have this sound here, right? So what I want to do, remember, let's go back. So our melody, they can take half somewhere in the bass, half, but they can't go to this side because we want to leave this room for the kick and the bass. So let's do the same thing. Do you mix in basses? I usually do when it comes to vocal or to drums. I usually do when it comes to vocals. Yeah, when I want to like to get rid of, how can I put it? Maybe if I want to use like auto-tune, or maybe to remove like hiss, or to desa. Do they call it desa or what? Yeah, to remove those in a vocal, I usually just create the bass for that. And yeah, to create the bass, but it's just gonna confuse people now. Okay, so now let's just put parametric EQ. Remember, you see, take this, We don't want this guy to take that space. Remember, I said somewhere it can take, but shouldn't be too much. Which we're happy with that. See, I have that. Okay, everything is fine with that. What I want here is, guys, let me explain maybe how reverb work. I think I'm just gonna explain two things to you on reverb. I'm gonna explain this part. I think I'm just gonna explain this part and also explain this part. This part I can explain, but if you tweak it, just gonna be complicated. But let me just explain this part for you. I'm gonna explain this and then this two part. Okay, how this reverb work is, so a reverb have a low cut. A low means bass. So if it's 0 like this, it means that this reverb will also apply to the bass. It means the bass, if you have a sub bass like goo, that goo will have the bass. But as soon as you move this, it's like you are cutting the reverb, that part of a reverb to the bass. So if you put it to 0, you see, it's nothing because we removed it. But if it's like this is it. Do this. See, it's not there because we cut that bass, so it doesn't have. So that's what it does. This one is the high part, like the highest things, the way where this hi-hat hit, you see at that point, that's the high. So it cut that thing. Okay, this dry is more like when you want to create an echo. You see, when you're in a hall and you say hello or something, and then it creates an echo. If I play this, you see, let me bring this. See, so this one is to create the echo. It's like how much you want the echo. And then this one is to adjust the reverb and say how much do you want to apply the overall. So if you to 0, you can't tell any difference. And then if you push it, then that's when the reverb start applying. So that's how the reverb work. So it also have this, but I wouldn't advise you tweak this. These things are just complicated. I don't want things that will confuse you. Now we just want to get mixing done. That's it. Okay, now I'm just going to increase this low card. I want to use this other reverb, this one. This is too much. The reason I'm saying that, because I wanted to use this other reverb and then also push this low card. See, and also just drop the word. And then what I want to do, there's this thing called saturation. Oh, let me call it to spread this stereo. So it's like how much you want to spread it on, like to saturate. I don't know how to put it. In simple terms, it's like to enhance it and make it more stereo. So this knob, it comes here. If you push this, you get, I think it's just stereo and mono. I think it will make sense if I just call it stereo and mono. So this thing by default here is on the original separation, which is stereo, right? Which is 0 0. If you push it this side, you get mono. If you get it this, if you push it this side, you are separating. That's why you like creating that saturation and get more stereo. The reason I want to do that, I want you to hear this. This is very important because these are things that you're gonna use. Listen. You hear how it sounds like? I'm gonna push this to mono. You see? We have one thing, right? Sounds the same everywhere, to the left and right. But let's put it back. This is original. Now let's spread it. Listen. See how it sounds like? So it's like you spread it. Sort of, yeah, something like that. So now, just gonna bring everything. So these are things that you can use to spread the track and give it like more texture. So I usually like to keep this kick hard just on purpose so that when I'm done with everything, I'll come back to it and try and balance it. Because if I keep it low, it might give problems. But yeah, so now we have, okay. So we are done with the main sound. We solved this problem. So now you can freestyle and add like chorus if you want to. Like, see, we added the chorus. It's like adding more text. So this is just up to you if you want to add these things. But remember one thing. Remember, the order is always important. Order, madam speaker, order. So so what I did is, probably we solved the problem here, right? And we're happy with that. But if we add sound at the bottom that add or create bass, or let me just put it this way, if you put sound goodizer would create a bass, right? So this doesn't help with anything anymore. It does help from here to top, but we created another problem here that now this thing have a bass. So it's always best that when you cut, you always put this one at the bottom, because this thing, it goes up to the top. Look now, if I play this, I think maybe sound goodizer does it. Let's just do that, boost it. You see? So that's a new problem, because now we have a new bass because we're adding things. So it's always best that when you add this parametric EQ, when you know that you boost this thing, just add it at the bottom. And hey, add it at the bottom somewhere here. Or you can put it after the reverb. But now I know that the things that are added doesn't add bass. But the order is always important. Okay. Okay, we're done. Then we move now. What do we want to do? We need to look for similar sounds. Once we have similar sounds, and then we work with them. Once we are done, and then we move to other things. But with similar sound, we need to look for similar sounds that takes priority. How do you know? You know that there are similar sounds that are taking priority because the sound appear more. If you look at this is the main sound. You see it appear here, which is the main chord. But if you look at this one appear, but not the same as this. So which means this one takes priority and then this one follows. But this one appear everywhere. So I'm gonna go to this one, which takes more priority. So which is this one. You see, we do the same thing. Just gonna put this. And then all I want to do is just to give it the reverb and then drop the low cut. I explained that one, drop that, and then just drop that. And then also I want to spread this. See now, don't worry about the kick being loud now. We'll worry later about the kick. The kick is fine to be loud like that. So I'm just gonna switch off this sound. Okay. So I want to switch off this sound, but I can't move this thing. Alright, I want to switch off this. Okay, so now we're done with this sound. So now we go to the second sound, which takes more priority. Do you use the reference mixing? You can use the reference mixing, but it's just gonna be hard because the track can be enhanced more, unless I think you can use it for mastering to make sense for mastering. For mixing, won't be, because when you start layering things and then you add effects, and then they start to sound somehow. For mixing, yeah, it can work. Based on my perspective, I don't know. I've never tried it. I've never tried to use it for mixing. So now the next sound that follows is this. Do the same thing. See? Want to get rid of the bass. See? Just gonna put the reverb. You see the thing I was explaining to you is this, the echo one. The reason I was explaining is because I wanted to use it. You hear how this piano sounds like. like it's in a space, sort of. Away, king. So that's what I meant. That's why I was like, let me just explain those part of the reverb so it makes sense to you. Just drop it. Okay, so now we're done. Now, since we are done with those similar sound, now we don't care which one follows, but the bass is the last thing still. So now we can look for other sound which might take priority. I see with this mosquito sound that appear here. I usually call it mosquito. That appear the most. So also let's focus on it. Just gonna put this. So this one, I'm just gonna do this. Feel like it's loud. Just drop it, nyana. And what I want to do, there's this thing here called stereo enhancer. Stereo enhancer, I have a preset for string. Select for string, then just drop. You see, we're moving slow, we're not in a rush. Okay, now what follows? I think we're done with those most important sounds. So now we're left with this one, and we're left with this one, which is called B something. Let me look for it. No, the bass, the last thing to worry about. This one. So now I'm just gonna focus on this. Look. We don't want that guy to appear to take this bass. Can take this one, not that one. Don't play there. That one is occupied for the kick and the bass. Let's give it some reverb. TikTok does record the live. I usually download and upload it there. Just push this because I want it to be bright. Let's use this. See. Okay, we're done. Then we move. So now we're left with this sound, which is in GMS. Did we add GMS? I think. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. So now focus on this sound. Now it's just focusing on those small sounds. We need to do the same thing, okay? It's very important. We do the same thing. Just gonna adjust the reverb. Okay, so now we're left with the bounce. So which is this? Let's do the same thing. Push this one. Just gonna try and push this one up. See, now I have that. So I feel like this hi-hat is loud. You see, now I can adjust this. That's what I'm saying. Some of the sounds are fine. Let them be loud like that. We're just gonna come back later to them. So now there's also this sound which is playing on its own somewhere here. So I want to select this part and focus on that sound. Before, what about the bass? Do the same thing. Spread this. Some sounds needs to be there, but doesn't mean all sounds needs to be heard. No, I usually use the other one, which is Filter Pro, but you see, I don't want to complicate life because I know other people have problems with PC specs, so I'm just trying to use like the stock way. So yeah, but I use Pro L2. Okay, so now we're left with our bass. So now we can worry about our bass. So let's start worrying about our bass. Okay. Tell me one thing. If I'm playing this bass, can't you hear, Mara? Can't you hear what this bass just sit well? I didn't even do anything because it have space. Because it have room already. You see, it's not fighting with anything. But what I want to do now is to create this automation and then select, not an automation, this, and select this one because I want to get rid of some of the bass and maybe I can move this one. We see now it's time for the kick. I feel like the kick is loud and then I can drop in. The hi-hat I feel like it's loud. I feel like this clap is not bright enough. You see now? Gonna give it a reverb. So I feel like this shaker is too much, so I'm dropping it. So you see, this is what we have at the end of the day. So I guess that's the thing. There's no like magic in terms of like doing this. The goal is just to make sure like you have a room for the thingy. Now you remember I said now there's a time where the kick and the bass fight. And it happens because remember the kick and the bass hit at the same point. And you'll be able to tell, let me just bring that Pro L2, which I don't want to use. If I put this somewhere here, these things are fighting. Let me show you. I'm just going to do it vice versa. So I'm just going to take a limiter and put it on the bass and switch off the kick. We see we have this. Then I'm just gonna switch on this and open the limiter. You see these waves are different. So what I do is I just move this limiter and push it down and try and level this, so get rid of these ears. See now. Okay, so we're done. So yeah, that's the whole thing about mixing. When it comes to mastering, it's about the loudness, in terms of like how loud you want the song to be. So also the order matters. So the mid side are the ones that I was doing. Just that you see, I was not moving this thing here. So, because, yeah, so I was not moving this thing here. But actually, I was using this stereo shaper. If you check, it have this thing where you have the right channel volume, and then you have, this is the left channel volume, and then this is the left to right. Then this is the right to left. So I was just using this one, which was doing like the split. Hence I was saying listen to the hi-hat in the beginning. So if I switch off this and then listen to the hi-hat, you see how the hi-hats, this thing is off. That's the hi-hat. If I switch on this, you see it just spread. Okay, so now we have a problem here. There are things that are loud but we don't want, like, or there are things that when we're playing sometimes they intend like to overlap. I think it's important to always consider and look in this way for something that are jumping. Like, see this one is jumping too much. So what I want to do, I'm using headphones. So what I want to do now is to put the limiter. Now I put the limiter. I don't have time for other things for compression. So put the limiter and then move this cell, and then this is, I call it a brick wall. You know, a brick wall, it's a wall that stop you from passing from the other side. So use this cell which will act as a brick wall. See, you see it bend this thing, it can't pass. So that's what I do. You need headphones. I think the thing is, you see, try and be yourself, eh? Do what you feel like is best. Don't do what other people are saying most of the time, because now you want to sound like someone else, and I think that's the problem most of the time. So just do what you can do. Okay, so now what I want to do is it's mixing, mastering. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm gonna add the parametric EQ, and then I want to select this and cut this other frequency. This is like the overall of the song, so it will cut this. But I feel like this clap is too much, so I'm just gonna drop this clap. Okay, so now I have that. Oh, okay, so now this is what we have. FL Studio by default have. Now I want to show you and give you what FL Studio have before I complicate your life. Before you complicate this thing, you remember our track. If you look at the limiter, the track is somewhere at 14 dB.6, which that's okay. You see it's at 14.6 and we're happy with that. So what we want to do, I'm just gonna add the multi-band compressor. There's two options. There's this one called mastering. So you can select this one, which boosts the volume, and also there's this one which boosts the volume more. So based on your track, by looking at the track, my track is at 14, so I can boost it more using this one. If it was close, very close to 6, and then I was gonna use this one because it was just gonna be too much, so I can use this. You see what it does? It boosts my track to that point. Which we can use this one, or we can use this one and then boost it the other way around. There's many ways to boost. So this one is another way to boost. So the reason I'm saying this, I think it's safe to use this one. And then once you have this one, And then now what you need to do is there's this thing which people they always have a problem with. I will show you. To create a brick wall, this thing is also a compressor. No, it's also like a limiter, this, but we'll come back to it. So there are things which people they always like look when tracks are playing. Let me just play this. I want to show you something. So have you seen like a track playing? In fact, I wanted to use that one, but the order matters, so I need to put it here. You see why I'm saying the order matters? If I put it here, how will it read? Okay, I want to put this one. Okay, I want to record this, and then I want to play this, so you see. You see how this thing looks like? In fact, yeah, this is the best way to make an example about the order. Yeah, so let me just do this. I want to kill this thing, so you see what I mean by when I'm talking about the order. I'm gonna record this and play this. I'm gonna switch on that. You see, I switch on that thing, and I'm recording here, and I will stop. So I want you to listen to this and tell me what's happening here. Listen. You see why I'm always saying the order is very important. So this thing, it didn't pick up this because it's at the top. So for this thing to work, we need to put it at the bottom. So if you put this thing at the bottom here, and then there's the recorder again, and then now if I press the record and record, just gonna stop and switch off that. Listen now. So you see what's happening. So if you put things like in some random order, you're just gonna get different results. So now it's time. What we want to do is for mixing, right? For mastering. So first of all, I'm gonna put this one at the top to get rid of these unwanted frequencies, and then put this multi-band compressor. Select this 2 dB, which will save you. Don't be too loud, don't be distorted, which mastering 2.4 dB. And then you have that. Okay, and then we move now. The next one that you want to do is to add Maximus. So Maximus have this one called K Master. Oh my god, it's just gonna make it more loud. Let me drop the volume. So with that, and then we get this. Thanks for the gift, King. So you see now it's more loud, like. But doesn't solve our problem. Why did you make this track loud? First of all, we wanted to boost it so that we don't worry about manipulating these frequencies later, and that's okay. But the main purpose here with Maximus is to apply stereo enhancer. So Maximus have this one, a knob where you're able to switch off things and listen to them independently. So if I play this, it's nothing. I can hear the kick on its own. See, that's Maximus. See, so it tells me like how much this kick loud, how much loud this kick is, like. So I'm able to, if I want to, see. So now I can adjust this kick the way I feel like it will be fine. Same as the rule applies to the MIDI. See, same as the highs. See, so with these 3 properties, which means we can adjust our song now, and so I just dropped that, so we're done. But there's more here, because those one were just helping us to adjust like how loud to reduce the low or to reduce the mid and so forth. Fine, that's working and we're fine, we're happy with that. Thanks for the gift, King. So now we have another thing where now we need to enhance our track to make it like to have that texture, to have that feel. How do you do that? You have this knob. This knob is the same as these ones of pushing to mono. So it's the same. If you move it to here, it's separate, which is stereo. If you move it to this side, it's spread it, which is it merge, which is mono. So it's also in the low, the mid, the high, and also the master. The master is the overall. If you move this, it's like merging everything to mono, your track. If you play, you see our track like is mono now. So you can also spread, which it separates. But we want to do this independently, so it's gonna to give texture to the track now and make it more bright. See, like okay, I'm done with that. So now the next thing is I need to add this one. What's happening is I'm happy with that, but I feel like they are part of the track which they are not bright enough. So I need to look here, and you can tell which part of the track are not bright enough by looking at this. You see here the curve is like, try and post this. See, so now it's like we're giving life to the track. So you see what's really happening. So now our track have life. So we move. Okay. There's this thing which people they always want to do. Now we at the point where is the play. I programmed the bass. So now we're at the point where we need to make decisions. I know other people, they like to have those waves looking nice, as if they are pressed and so forth, and that's okay. This one is not dropping. It's a tutorial. I'll upload it on YouTube. So now what you want to do is remember there are conditions where on Spotify they tell you that the track needs to be at whatever dB, LFUS, because most of the time like the track will be low, but Spotify is playing around 14. Some they go around like 12. Some they go even lower, like best top producers they go at like lower around maybe 9, and 9 is very loud. So yeah, so that one is up to you, but now I prefer like to use King, I'll upload it on YouTube. So now I prefer to keep this at say 12 LFUS, which is this the value. So if I play this, look, you see this at 19. So what I do is I need to boost this up until it get to that point. So now just gonna drop the volume because it's setting my ears. See, so now I have that, you see, at that point. But there's one thing that I need to do. I need to create a brick wall. So what I'm thinking is probably because that's something which you want to see a brick wall. So what I want to do is I'm gonna boost this track here on the master, on the post, which is the same thing which boosts the track. So see, I'll show you why I'm doing that. Let's open this again. Just gonna boost it there because it will make sense what I want to show you. Because my goal is just to simplify this thing for you. I don't want to complicate it. So now I'm gonna have this, and I want to open the other one, which is this one. Okay, so I want the 2. So I'm just gonna have the 2 because I want to see how much I'm pressing it. Now it's at 17. Let's boost it. See now. It's gonna press it. I'm just gonna leave it there. And then now once I have it, the track there, So now I want to show you like how you can create a brick wall. So we did that and we're done with that. So the other thing which you need to do, that thing, it's a limiter on its own, but then that one is just limited 0, but we want to create a brick wall with a limiter. So now with that, we can use a compressor also. So now what's happening is, probably you've seen those waves that look like, how can I put this? You see how a mustard wave a mixed wave looks like? Yo, a mustard wave looks like. Away, Kings, how's it? So some they use a compressor. Now I said we're not using that because I don't want to confuse you guys. I want to keep things simple. Away, King. So now you just add this. You see? So you can add this one as a brick wall to solve those problems. But if you don't want to add the brick wall and you think, or you feel like it's choking the track, so there's this one called transprocessor. Yeah, so you can select soft attack, so it will smoothen your track and make it nice. And then after, you can put the brick wall. So how it looks like, let me switch off that brick wall and play this. You see what it does? It does that. So you see, it's smoothen that, it does that for you. So you don't have to worry about compressing. I told you. Yeah, see what it does? Just clean it up for you. Then you can do that, put that. Can lock it somewhere here, then you're gonna have that. Let's just increase this attack. So the final wave, it's like this. Let me show you the final wave. I'm super good, King. I'm super good. So now I want to show you like the final wave. So you see, at least that thing didn't show up, and the guys have been here for 2 hours. So I think let me just show you the final wave, how it looks like. And you see my piece is already complaining. But let me just show you the final wave, how it looks like. Why is this thing moving slow? Hey. It's fine, let's leave it. Let's wait for it. Oh my god, I have a new problem here. Jesus, dark. Okay. This thing is just taking time, but let's wait for it. Damn. How am I gonna do this? Hey, I see. I use like studio monitors and headphones, but most of the time I use studio monitors because I have ears problem, so I was doing something that screwed my ears with this music thing. So what I'll advise is you just use headphones. If yeah, you can use headphones. Doesn't matter if it's studio headphones. Headphones are fine. The only thing is, if you are able to cut those bass, the only thing that you need to do is one. You see, if you get proper sound, because if you don't use like some random sound, because other sound will disappoint you. There are those kicks which they hit on the headphones, but if you play it on the big system, it's nothing. Like to the headphones, I have the FTS 181, which those one I sent them at home. I gave them to my brother. Now I'm using the CRX. I'm using the CRX. I kinda don't like them, but there's nothing I can do. So now I just want to show you how this wave look like. This one, you see how it looks like, because someone created the brick wall. So your final wave look like this. So this is your final wave. So yeah, you see, it looks like so let me see, let me play it. So that's how you can create the brick wall. If you want the wave to look like that, you can like customize it. See, yeah, so that's it. If you want the wave to look like this, because I know other people, they be like, hey, how do you make my wave look like this? My wave look like, some of them are big, some of them are small. I think there is this way you just create, you put that trans thing, this one, and then it will just cut out those things for you, and then after you put the brick wall just like that. So yeah, but guys, I think for now, or for today, that's it. Thank you. And I think let's just try and push tomorrow, and then we'll see what we're gonna be doing. Yabo, I think I've covered this now. One question. They are saying it's not good to mix with the limiter. That's not true. The only thing they want to say is it's not good to mix with the limiter, because the limiter might create the brick wall for you. And then if it's like this, that's a brick wall, and then you try and boost your song, and then it will feel distorted. So but then if your limiter is at 0, and then which means the wall is at 0, it won't exceed 0, and there's no way, because remember we're using this, our track was here, and then after we did mixing, and then it was here, and then we boosted it to here, and then after we did the final part, which now is here at 0. But then if your limiter now it's somewhere here at minus 12 dB, and when you're trying to mix, as soon as you boost, it will feel distorted. But if it's at 0, it's not the problem. So I don't know if maybe I've answered. 1-to-1, I was doing them. It's just that time, you see, time was chowing me. But it's something which probably, I think, in 2 months. 2 months. Do you want this video or the one for yesterday? I think there's a video. Because the thing is, I need to chop this thing, yabo, so that doesn't use your data. Yabo. So I usually like chop these videos when I upload them on YouTube, so it doesn't use your data. You see, like now we're talking and we're not doing anything. So I usually like cut them and keep them clean in a way that you only watch this part where I'm doing things. Unlike now we're talking, and imagine now you bought your data, and then now it's just gonna chow your data. So yeah, that's why I always like try and keep them short. Not like short, I cut like the part like now, the way we're talking, and keep only the part where I'm doing things. But I think for today, guys, that's it. I'm not saying I'm good or what, but at least I try like to explain things. Today's purpose, in fact, was to show in terms of like mixing and mastering, and the main goal was to use things that are simple, because I know other people, they are learning FL Studio, they're still new. As soon as you start speaking about sidechaining, it's like now you're just like adding more things to the person, and then the person will just feel dismotivated. But if you use something which a person see that, okay, I see there's a trans process that if I add it does that, I see there's a limiter that if I add it does that, I see there's maximus, if I add it does that, I think that it helps in a way that you are able to understand, good, okay, I do that. Unlike now, if I start talking about bars, that I'm gonna group this and this and this and create one thing by clicking this. So in fact, my goal is just to keep things simple for people to understand. Now I learn things the hard way, but I always try to keep things simple as possible. Not the way I learn things, in a way that even if you had to someday wake up and be like, you know what, I want to learn FL Studio, I don't know anything, anyone can be able to follow. They just open FL Studio, they be like, okay, I see it clicked here, it clicked here, it clicked here, and then you're able to follow. Unlike these other ones, now I watch these other tutorials, that tutorial is 5 minutes on YouTube. The person will be like, okay guys, I'm gonna teach you how to produce a deep house. We start with playing the kick. The kick is already there, it's done. And then when it's 2 minutes, now the person is playing the whole thing. It's like, what plugin did you use? You don't know. So now, like, I always like try and break things, even for someone who's new to FL, they'll be able like to follow, even copy this thing as is, because why not? So you can just follow it, the person copy this thing as is, and then that's it. Because now I learn things the hard way, but my goal is to keep things simple as possible. So I guess for today is let's keep on exploring, and then that's it for today. Have a great night. Next time when we are going to sidechain slow. Yeah. Hey, don't worry, King. We'll do that and create buses and all those things. But yeah, so for now was just to keep things simple as possible. So guys, I want to say have a great night. Let's catch up tomorrow, and then you will tell me what you're gonna be doing. Probably I will tell you around 7. I will tell you tomorrow's the Friday.